Raj Astrology, and today we are going to discuss the Saturn transit effects for the Leo moon sign, folks. So, if you have your moon in your Leo sign in your natal chart, then this presentation is for you. So currently Saturn is actually situated in your fifth house, and on January 24th, 2020, Saturn will transit into your sixth house. So Saturn is transiting in his own sign. He owns the Capricorn sign, and this transit of Saturn for the Leo moon folks is going to be a very auspicious and fruitful transit. So this Saturn transit to the sixth house is going to be very auspicious and lucky for you because Saturn enters into the sixth house, and your sixth house is your house of your enemies, your debts, your diseases, your hospitalization, and Saturn will make sure that he slows down all these for you. So you will have a wonderful time during this particular transit, and Saturn is going to stay for 3 years in in the sign of Capricorn. So that again is going to work wonders for you in this transit. So one major positive aspect of Saturn transiting to your sixth house, it basically it's going to knock out all your enemies, your debts, and your diseases because these are the karakas or the features which constitute the sixth house. And the moment Saturn enters into the sixth house, you will have victory over your enemies, your debts will reduce, and you'll also be in a good, healthy shape. So that's an awesome transit for Saturn, and rest assured, you can be very sure you will be able to reap the benefits during this transit. And I'd like to re-add that this transit is a long transit; it's over 3 years, so you can plan your moves accordingly. So Saturn sitting in the sixth house actually casts an aspect to your eighth house, and your eighth house is your house of longevity, your hidden wealth, and inheritance. So since Saturn is looking from a house which he is very comfortable at, in a good house and in a sign which is his own house, he looks at the eighth house. So since you have control over your debts, your enemies, and your diseases as well, it also eliminates the eighth house. So eighth house is your longevity. So as I said, you will have better health during this period. It's also a house of hidden wealth, inheritance. So if there are some deals which are going to come your way in terms of property or money, this is going to be the best time for you for quite some time now. So after the eighth house, the next aspect of Saturn is on the 12th house, and this is the seventh house aspect of Saturn, and it falls in a 12th house. So the 12th house is a house of losses and hospitalization, and Saturn being in a very strong position in the sixth will make sure that you have very less losses as well as very less, your health basically is considerably improved because Saturn aspecting the 12th house helps you to minimize and trim your losses to a great extent. And then the last house which Saturn aspects is going to be your third house. That's the 10th house from Saturn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the third house from your natal chart. And when it aspects the third house, it looks at these aspects. Basically, the third house is house of your communication and your relationship with your cousins and other brothers. So that's another house which Saturn is going to aspect. And being in the sixth house, it's a very strong house for you, and it's really going to help you in this particular transit. And as I said, there is an additional some more good news coming for Leo folks actually. So the another good news which happened in November is that Jupiter has transited into your fifth house. So your Jupiter transit into your fifth house is also an awesome and a very auspicious transit because Jupiter excels in house number five, and that house is actually the house of your children, your creativity, your business ventures, even some speculation in case you're in the stock market. With the Jupiter entry into the fifth house would actually help you to gains. So you have various avenues of money being invested. So I'll let you know where exactly Jupiter is going to help you in building your wealth and giving you some real whirlwind profits. So Jupiter, as I discussed, transited your fifth house. That's the house of your children, creativity, speculation, and business. So There might be good news like a birth of a child, or you might be more creative during this period. There's also a good time to invest in shares, and you a lot of new open business ventures. Also, Jupiter, since it's the it's at the fifth house, so that's the money from your fourth house. That's your house of your land, your properties and vehicles. Also signify the fifth house. So in this case, since Jupiter has moved to your fifth house, you can also expect some really good deals which you might win in your favor. So it can either be an inheritance, or it can be a new property. It's a good time to buy a new house in, and you might get all your loans sanctioned as well. So overall, this combo of Jupiter and Saturn transit is going to work wonders for you in this transit. So this Jupiter's aspect is also going to aspect your ninth house, and that's the house of your luck. It's house of your foreign travel, and it's a house of your father. So this aspect of Jupiter is a blessing for this house. So you'll see your luck surge up during this period. Also, Jupiter aspects your moon sign, that is your first house. In that case, we deduce that the blessings of Jupiter are there for you for this entire period of this transit till November 2020. So it's really a time for you to reap the benefits, because the combo, this wonderful combo of Jupiter and Saturn, it's a rare phenomenon. You won't find such a transit for in the near future. So it's up to you to make this make maximum of this opportunity. As the saying goes, make hay when the sun shines, because these are the possible effects, or I'm sure, I mean, 90 percentage you'll have these effects working in your favor, because you've got such a wonderful placement of Jupiter and Saturn. So you'll have gains in properties. If you're signing in some new deals in property, you'll see success. You'll have some inherited wealth in this. During this, there is a possibility that you might get some inherited wealth. You can sign new business deals, or you can also involve or in speculation in stocks and shares. That is, of course, if your natal chart supports it. You will also have victory over your enemies in litigation and cases. If any cases are pending for long, it will be ruled in your favor. It's also a good time for you to buy a new vehicle, and also invest in a new house, and purchase a new house. So all in all, it looks a very awesome and auspicious transit for Leo folks. Also, I'd like to highlight there is one more planet which is sitting in a wonderful position for you, and that's the planet Rahu. So Rahu is sitting in your 11th house of gains. So this is a time where there is a lot of money flow indicate, because Rahu in 11th gives great gains, because Rahu is something which never stops at one point. It always desires for more and more. So in this case, you will find Rahu might work over time in order to work out gains for you in all possible manners. Either by the problem is, you have to be careful here, because Rahu generally uses devious ways, or there are, maybe it not be the proper way to gain money. So that's something you have to be, keep your Rahu in check, so that you're able to gain in a good and a proper manner. Because Rahu, when he's uncontrollable, generally he tends to rake in a lot of money, more you can handle with, and that's the point of time you have to be careful, and very prudent with your money and the sources of the money coming in. So that's one another additional aspect when I say that Rahu is in your 11th house of gains. So if you do handle this powerful transit and this wonderful transit of all the planets in awesome positions for you, so if you're able to handle all these the various methods by which you can gain money wonderfully, you can really laugh your way to the bank, because this period is for you to act, and to make hay when the sun shines. So this is all for the Leo folks. Once again, congratulations on this wonderful transit, and make sure you make the most out of this transit for you. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel.